In a crowded neighborhood, there was a little child named Nhi. But strangely, instead of being loved, she had to face alienated looks and gossip behind her back. The whole neighborhood discriminated against her. But what did Nhi do wrong? Or was it all just for a reason that no one expected? After the storm with the debt collector ended, James and Diep thought that life would finally be peaceful. However, a new challenge appeared, this time not from outsiders, but from the neighbors around. From the first days Nhi moved in, some neighbors started gossiping. They gossiped that Nhi was an abandoned child, the child of a family in debt, and some even hinted that James and Diep adopted her just to gain a good reputation. Those unintentional words quickly reached Nyi's ears. One afternoon, when Nhi was on her way home from school, a neighbor who was known to be difficult suddenly blocked her way. She looked Nhi up and down, then said coldly, "This little girl also gets to live in a nice house, eat well, and dress well? Your parents abandoned you for a reason. Don't think that being adopted means you've become a rich kid." Those harsh words were like a knife stabbing straight into Nyi's young heart. The little girl was silent. Her hands clenched until they trembled. Then she ran home. Diep saw the girl from afar and ran over in panic. "What happened, baby?" But Nhi just buried her face in Diep's chest and sobbed. When James got home, he heard Diep's story. His face darkened. He could not let this continue. That same evening, James went to the neighbor's house. He knocked on the door, his voice calm but determined. "You have the right to dislike us, but you are not allowed to hurt a child. Nhi did nothing wrong with her parents' past. If there is a next time, I will have to ask the government to intervene." The neighbor initially wanted to argue back, but seeing James's determined eyes, she kept silent. The next day, this story spread throughout the neighborhood. Many people who were indifferent began to feel guilty for staying silent and letting Nhi suffer. Suddenly, a group of kind neighbors decided to visit James and Diep's house. They brought cakes and small gifts for Nhi. An elderly man said, "We misunderstood your family. She is very obedient and polite. From now on, we will take care of her and protect her with you." That moment moved Nhi to tears. For the first time, she felt the feeling of being accepted by the community. Diep hugged her daughter and said softly, "You see, when we bravely face difficulties, things will gradually get better." That night, James, Diep and Nhi sat together. Nhi whispered, "I promise to be stronger, so that my parents don't worry. I will prove to everyone that I am also worthy of love." James smiled and patted her head. "You did it, Nhi. Just by being yourself, you make us proud." The story of Nyi's bravery quickly spread throughout the neighborhood. Although there were still a few reserved glances, most people opened their hearts. That was the turning point that made Nyi's life warmer. The next day was peaceful. When James had just taken Nhi to school, an old car stopped in front of the house. Two strangers got out, a skinny man with a haggard face, and a woman with a haggard face. They were Nyi's biological parents. Diep opened the door. Before she could ask anything, the woman choked up. "We are Nyi's parents. We want to see her." Diep's heart tightened. Memories of the nights Nhi cried because she was abandoned rushed back. She took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "I'm sorry, but you abandoned her when she needed it the most. Now that Nhi has stabilized her life, we don't want her to be hurt anymore." The man stepped forward, his voice harsh. "She is our flesh and blood. We have the right to take her back." At that moment, James returned. He stood in front of the door, his eyes cold. "The right? You too abandoned her in debt. Fled abroad. During that time, who took care of her? Who wiped her tears? Now you've come back just to escape debt. Do you think we'll hand Nhi over so easily?" The atmosphere became tense. They left. But the next day, James received a summons from the court. Nyi's parents had officially filed for custody. That night, Nhi overheard the conversation between James and Diep. She was scared, hugging her teddy bear tightly. "I don't want to leave you and your parents. I want to stay here." Nhi burst into tears. James picked her up and comforted her. We will do everything for you to stay. You don't have to be afraid of anything. The day of the court hearing. The atmosphere was tense. The lawyer representing James and Diep presented evidence of Nei's parents' past neglect and debt, and proved that Nei's current life was stable and happy. When NHI was called to testify, she stood trembling in court. Her eyes filled with tears but determined. I know they are my biological parents, but I don't want to go back to them. I want to stay with Dad James and Mom Diep. This is my family. The sentence made the whole courtroom silent. Even the judge looked at NHI with emotion. After consideration, the court decided to give legal custody to James and Diep, for Nei's best interests. Nei's parents left disappointedly, but before leaving, the mother turned back to look at NHI for a long time, tears falling silently. That day, when returning home, NHI ran into James, Diep's arms, sobbing, but those were tears of relief. Finally, she was no longer afraid of being separated. James kissed her forehead gently. Our family will never be apart again.